Hello class, my name is Andy Garcia and today I will be presenting on visual impairment. So to start us off, I thought I'd state some facts brought to you by the World Health Organization. Globally, at least 2.2 billion people have a vision impairment or blindness. That is almost 1/3 of the total world population. The leading cause of vision impairments are uncorrected refractive errors and cataracts. And lastly, most people with vision impairment are over the age of 50 years. Again, take into reconsideration the at least 2.2 billion people who have a vision impairment or blindness worldwide. There are significant regional differences among areas of low and middle income regions, as much as 4 times higher than in high income regions. And rates of unaddressed near vision impairments are greater than 80% in Western, Eastern, and Central Sub-Saharan Africa than compared to lower than 10% in high-income regions in North America, Australia, Western Europe, and Asia Pacific. Here's the World Health Organization's map of visual impairments and blindness in 2010. If you look at the map at the top, you can tell that Northern Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia have the highest percentages of visual impairments worldwide. Now, if you look at the graph at the bottom, you can see the percentages of vision loss and blindness for all ages in the countries listed. You can tell that China and India have the highest percentage of vision loss and blindness compared to the rest of the areas depicted on the graph. If you look at the graph at the left of your screen, the World Health Organization states that there are 285 million people affected by visual impairments worldwide. Out of those 285 million, 246 million are low vision and account for 86% of visual impairments, and 39 million are considered blind and consist of just 14% of visual impairments. The bar graph at the right of the screen depicts the investments in health and visual impairments. You can tell by looking at the graph that low-income areas account for a higher percentage of visual impairments worldwide. Now we have the 4 classifications of visual impairment. Partially sighted requires the need for special education. Low vision is described as severe visual impairment, not necessarily limited to distance vision. Legally blind is described as very limited field of vision, 20 degrees at its widest point. And lastly, totally blind is described as must use Braille or other non-visual media. Now we go to the causes of blindness. We have refractive errors, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, retinopathy, corneal opacity, and trachoma. We will continue with these in the next slides. Refractive errors occur when changes in the cornea, aqueous humor, lens, or vitreous humor prevent proper bending of light rays to converge on the retina. It is the most common cause for diminished visual acuity. There are 4 types of refractive errors: myopia, hyperopia, astigmatism, and presbyopia. The top picture depicts the healthy bending of light rays in the eye. The bottom picture depicts myopia, where light rays are focused in front of the retina. Cataracts are described as a clouding or opacity of the lens of the eye. It occurs mostly in older adults. Individuals with cataracts describe vision is like looking through a cloudy pane of glass or looking through a fog. If you look at the picture to your left, you can see a cataract is depicted by a clouded lens in the eye. The picture to your right depicts a person with an actual cataract in their eye. Macular degeneration is described as the degenerative changes in the macula of the eye. It usually occurs after the age of 50 and does not result in complete blindness. There are 2 types of macular degeneration. Dry form occurs without bleeding, and wet form occurs with bleeding. If you look at the picture to the left of your screen, you can see the macula forming inside the eye. The picture to your right shows you the differences between dry form and wet form. Glaucoma occurs when the amount of aqueous humor produced exceeds the amount being drained from the eye. It occurs as a primary or secondary condition from diabetes, trauma, infection, or prolonged use of medications, and it is the leading cause of irreversible blindness. If you look at the picture to your left, you can see the pressure buildup from the aqueous humor in the eye causes changes in the optic nerve. The picture to your right is an actual picture of an eye with glaucoma. Retinopathy is any condition that affects the retina. They are often named for their cause like arteriosclerotic retinopathy, hypertensive retinopathy, and diabetic retinopathy. Diabetic retinopathy is the result of damage to the retina and is a complication of diabetes mellitus, and it is the most common type of retinopathy. If you look at the picture to your left, which describes the diabetic eye, you can see the various damages that diabetes has caused to the vitreous cavity. The picture to the right shows a retinal image that depicts the macular damages to the retina by diabetes. Corneal opacity is any condition that causes scarring or clouding of the cornea that can cause permanent, partial, or total loss of vision. As you can clearly see, the cornea of both eyes have been damaged by an unknown disease. Trachoma is a disease of the eye caused by infection with the bacterium Chlamydia trachomatis. Blindness from trachoma is irreversible, and it is responsible for the blindness or visual impairment of around 1.9 million people globally. The image to your left describes the stages of trachoma. The first stage is when chlamydia infects and causes inflammation in the eye. Stage 2 of trachoma is the scarring process, followed by other eye complications and potential blindness. The picture to the right shows a person's eye infected with trachoma. Now let's dive into the treatments, such as eyeglasses, contact lenses, refractive surgery, and prosthetic devices and eye replacement. Eyeglasses must be recommended by ophthalmologists or optometrists, and the type of corrective lenses needed must be individually determined. The most used contact lenses are hard and soft corneal lenses, and each must be recommended and constructed. Refractive surgery is an alternative to wearing glasses or contact lenses. Myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism are most corrected with refractive surgery. Anophthalmia is the congenital absence of the eye. It does not contribute to vision and can enhance the individual's body image and self-concept. People with visual impairments or blindness can rely on different types of assistive devices. Optical devices require special training. Non-optical devices require no special training. Low-technology devices require little training. And lastly, high-technology devices are more electronically sophisticated and may require specialized training. An assistive device that stood out to me was Braille. Braille is a system of raised dots that can be read with the fingers by people who are blind or have a vision impairment. It was invented by Louis Braille in the early 19th century. Braille is not a language, it is a code. And lastly, hard copy Braille uses the raised dot method. Soft copy Braille is stored on electromagnetic tape and presented as patterns that represent a Braille dot. This slide will represent the in-class activity I was going to present. It is the Uno card game for blind and low vision players. Mattel and the National Federation of the Blind partner up to create a Braille edition of the famous game. It is created for blind and low vision players. It features easily readable Braille dots on every card. How do you play? Players are to call out the cards as they play. Blind players can touch the discard pile to verify the card in play, and they can also call for a card check to determine cards in each player's hand. World Sight Day aims to focus on global attention on vision impairment and blindness. It is held on the second Thursday of October every year. It is marked to celebrate achievements and advocate for eye care. Each year comes with a new theme. Here is a video of how World Sight Day is celebrated in San Antonio.
Experian Boost raised my credit score by 12 points.
Boost your credit scores instantly, free.
Alex Borstein, Emmy Award winner, master of hilarity, and a bona fide member of the human
14 past the hour. It is a worldwide celebration for all to see. In honor of World Sight Day, today health advocates want the community to focus their attention on blindness and vision impairment.
According to the local organization Team Ability, most medical programs focus on physical abilities and may not focus on a child's vision. That's why today they're inviting the community to learn more about what they're doing to raise awareness and to help these children.
Alicia Beretta live from the Learning Center with a closer look. Good morning, Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
Exactly to teach them how to look.
I love it.
This is
Sarah.
She visits Team Ability twice a week for at least an hour.
Hey, friend.
Sarah is 11 years old, but her development is of a 6 to 9 month old.
Her underlying diagnosis is a mitochondrial disorder.
Experts determined that she suffers from multiple disorders, including cortical visual impairment.
Okay, friend.
Her eyes actually work, but the message isn't getting to the brain.
Today's visit is to the vision room.
Look, we made it.
Once the lights are turned off, so are other elements of what they call visual noise.
We're going to do some blacklight play to highlight characteristics of toys and items in front of her.
We designed the rooms based on evidence-based practices for providing children access to the environment and a very controlled environment.
The main focus of the blacklight activity is for Sarah to look.
As soon as we saw yellow, or like a green yellow, her eyes immediately fixated onto those objects, no matter if they were moving, if they were sitting still.
She's now noticing her favorite objects and her favorite people.
The fact that she looks at my face now is already big progress.
It's a progress measured in physical reaction.
Ooh, what a big move, Sarah.
And emotional reaction.
The joy that she's been expressing is something very new for Sarah, because for years we never saw her smile.
And it's World Sight Day, so Team Ability is inviting the entire